Good afternoon, guys. This is Sharon, and I am here to show you how I do my mottling sponge and doing my first layer of mottling on April. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to make sure that you guys stay on camera. So here we go. I'm going to show you how to plug the holes out of a mottling sponge. My light is flickering. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to take the corners off, like so, and then you want to get rid of any edges that look pointy. So just kind of go around it and get rid of the edges so that you're going to end up with a center portion that is raised, like so. You'll see when I'm done here. So you see that the center is the portion that you're going to pluck the holes out of. So I just put my slanted edge tweezer in there and I pluck out some holes. Just like that. So that's what we have so far, and I'm liking that. So there we go. We have a little pile of little foam here that we're going to discard. Let me get my paper towel over here and put this on there. I have some soft music playing in the background. My husband and I had lunch at Cheddar's today in Florida. We have never eaten at Cheddar's before, and it was a lovely experience. I had the Monte Cristo sandwich, which was like eating a funnel cake, believe it or not. I only ate half of it. So I'm going to use the same mixture of lip nail blush that I used for the creasing. I'm going to brush some of the paint off, and I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to brush it lightly over the sponge, like so. I'm going to dip it on my paper towel because I don't want it to be too much. And I'm going to start with the arm. And I'm going to make sure you're on camera. Let me see. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So we'll start with the hand, and you can see it leaves a nice light mottle effect. I hope you can see that. It's very, very light. And this is the last thing that I'm going to do before I bake. I'm going to add another layer of paint on here and continue up the arm, changing the direction of my sponge as I go. And when I see that it's not picking up any more paint, I just load it again. hope you guys can see that. And I don't have to dip my paint brush into the paint that often because the sponge has enough on it. It has just enough on it, the way I like it. So you want to have very light coats of paint on your doll. That's how you get the most realistic look. I know it's tempting to try and put as much paint on as you can to get it done as quickly as you can, but you won't get the results that you want. It just takes patience. Patience and determination to get the results that you want for your doll. Now I'm just looking at it in the light. I have to bring my light closer. I have to move some things out of the way. I have to bring my light a little bit closer so that I can see better. Okay, I'm going to put more on the sponge. And the paint kind of disappears when it's this thin, so I like to just keep going over it until it doesn't disappear anymore. And I have to make sure that it's on every single part of the doll so that it looks even. And there's no like gaping spaces with no mottling on it. I like it even. I like it to be even everywhere. I learned that from Ella. Ella's artist. Her mottling is second to none, and it's very even, I noticed. You notice I haven't dipped my paintbrush in the paint again. I haven't had to do that. But when I get to the next limb, I probably will have to. This is looking really nice. I'm liking this. She is a newborn, so she does require some mottling. So that's one arm. I hope you guys saw that okay. And I'm going to put this arm here, and I'm going to check the camera, make sure that the next arm is in the frame. Okay, that's good enough, I guess, to make sure I stay right here. All right, I am going to dip my brush. Bentley's here now. He's jumping on me. And George is awake. Okay, I'm going to take my paintbrush and brush it on my paper towel. Lightly brush it over this sponge. And then dab it on my paper towel because I don't want excess. And we're going to start with the hand and work up and change the direction of the sponge. There goes my Audubon clock. I love it. I love birds. I love bird calls. I love every kind of bird. A real bird lover. Dog lover, bird lover, plant lover. Duck lover. So we're just doing the same thing here, folks. And the paint is getting a little bit darker. And that will happen because the sponge is getting more saturated. But that's okay, because you can always go over the limb that has the least amount of mottling and do more. Because we're not nearly done, folks, not nearly. So this is how you do mottling. Easy peasy, right? I never knew how to do mottling when I first started reborning. So I just kind of took my paintbrush and just kind of dabbed it and made little red marks here and there. I didn't know how to do mottling until someone told me how to do it. And I was like, boy, that's a real game changer. That is a real game changer. Just knowing how to mottle. Because that, to me, that's the most realistic part of the doll, is the mottling and the veining. And of course the detailing, the shading, the bluing, which I will get to in another tutorial to show you guys. You know, when Bentley is too quiet, I wonder, what's he getting into? And it's usually something not good. Chewing something that he shouldn't be chewing. Now, I see a couple of spots on the top that are a little dark that I'm just blotting so they don't appear quite as dark. So that's how you do that. What are you doing, Bentley? What you got? Oh, he has his toy. That's good. Okay, you can have that. You can have that. That's good. Good boy. It's tough to get in the folds of the arm when the arm is bent. Both of Lucy's arms are bent, by the way, like this one. So the paint is kind of sinking in and disappearing a little bit. So I'm just going over it until it doesn't disappear and it stays. It's funny how that happens, but the paint does sink in to the vinyl with Genesis. I think this is looking really nice. I don't like blotchy skin as much as I like even mottling. What was that, Bentley? Because I think it looks more realistic, and I like pretty babies. I don't like babies that have too much milk spots or scratches or birthmarks or whatever. So that'll do, I think, for that arm. Maybe one more by the elbow. Need a little bit more over here. And after I do this, I'm going to bake the doll. Or if I think that I can, I might do a light layer of veining before I bake. We'll see. It's just more or less the mood I'm in. All right, here is the leg. So I'm going to go check to make sure that you guys are still on frame. Yes, you are. Zoom out a little bit. Lovely, lovely lunch today. Okay, so I'm going to dip my my mop brush back into the paint, brush it off a little bit on the paper towel, brush it onto the cosmetic wedge, dab it onto my paper towel, and start again. Start with the foot, work my way up. It's coming out lovely. I love this. This is one of my favorite parts of reborning, is the mottling, because I think, like I said, it is making the flesh look like real baby flesh, the mottling layer. And we have only just begun, folks. There is so much more to do on this doll that you have really no idea. I'm going to cover every single step on camera so that you can really get an appreciation for what this art is all about. I mean, we have several flesh coats yet to do because she's still very pale. You know, I'm going to be putting bluing and yellowing and browning and purpling on her skin tone depending on what I think she needs. So she's only just begun. It's only just begun. I'm really liking this mottling. The sponges are always a little bit different. They come out a little bit different each time I do them. And I do end up saving them, but I don't know what happened to the last one. It disappeared. I must have thrown it away and said, I'll just make a new one, because I must have used it too many times. I don't know, but with air dry paint, you have to keep redoing one because the water makes the holes swell, and you have to keep doing new ones. Because once the holes are swelled, they don't do a mottling anymore. So that's one of the drawbacks with air dry paints, at least acrylics. Yeah, the acrylic paints you add water, distilled water, and the sponges just swell and they become useless. She's going to need several more layers of creases too, because once you bake the doll, a lot of times the paint will almost seem to disappear. You just have to keep doing it. Yeah. Sometimes the paint gets darker after you bake it. I guess it depends on the vinyl, and sometimes the paint gets lighter when you bake it. It's kind of fun painting on camera. I feel like I'm not alone, and it gives me a chance to chat. So I'm noticing that the paint is disappearing here on this leg as I'm doing this. It's soaking in. So I'm just going over the spots where it's disappearing on me. Plus, I'm using very light coats. darker right here. Also depends on the light that I'm working in. I'm trying to stay on camera and stay so you can see what I'm doing, but yet that's coming away from the light. So, once again, Bentley is very quiet. I'm getting a little worried. What are you doing, Bentley? What you doing, Bentley? You want to show me what you got? He came in with nothing, so I don't know what he was doing. This is kind of disappearing on me, which tells me I'm just going to go to the next leg. Yeah. And then come back to it. Oh, because I'm tired of working on that leg. All right, I'm going to dip my brush in the paint. Brush it off a little, brush it on the sponge, and dab it on my paper towel. Start at the foot, change the direction of the sponge, load it up again. Here we go. It's the same procedure for every limb. I hope you're enjoying this. I know I am. Like I said, this is one of my favorite parts, the mottling. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if I get a baby that has great mottling, I usually bond very well with the baby. The way the baby feels in my arms is also another thing that determines whether I'm going to bond with the baby or not. If the baby doesn't feel cuddly, or if it doesn't look good in the clothing, or if it's hard to dress, those things all mean something to me. I'm wondering what Bentley's getting into. You guys can see this, I hope. Just trying to stay in frame. Bentley's definitely into something. As soon as I do this limb, I'm going to go take a look. Because I'm not sure if I closed the door to my nursery or not. Oh boy. Okay. this paint has not been baked yet. So I've got 2 layers of flesh 08. I've got several layers of creasing, and I've got the mottling layer, all before it's been baked once. So that saves some work, right? Yes, it does. Okay, I'm going to stop with this leg. I'm going to go see what Bentley's up to, and I will be right back. Bentley, what are you doing? Okay, you in your playpen? What are you doing in there? I'm going to let you stay in there so that I can work. All right, I put him in his playpen so that I don't have to worry about him, especially getting to the head. So here we are. Let me make sure that you're in frame. You're not. Zoom out. There we go. All right. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to dip the paintbrush into the paint, dab it on my paper towel, brush it over the sponge. My camera just went off, so I had to turn it back on. I must have run into my time limit. So with the head, I start at the back of the neck. Hope you can see that, okay. Sounds like some calypso music, flamenco music, which I'm not a fan of. But you never know what you're going to get on this channel. I have my TV on, and it's the free music that you get with DirecTV. And it's Contemporary Instrumentals is the name of the channel. If you don't change the direction of your sponge when you're doing this, it tends to look like lizard skin. So if your mottling starts looking like lizard skin, like this is starting to look like, change the direction of your sponge more. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? But you don't want your baby to look like lizard skin. You want it to look like baby skin. So change the direction of the sponge so it's not a pattern that looks like a lizard. Get behind the ear. Thank goodness Bentley is in his crate, because he's really going to town on something. We're getting to the face now, so this is a real crucial part. I hope you can see this. It's really kind of disappearing. And my back is starting to hurt because I'm leaning over too much. I'm leaning over way too much, and I'm not resting my back on the back of the chair. See, a lot of this has already sunken in to the vinyl and I cannot see it. Patience is a virtue. This takes patience, folks. Patience, patience, and more patience. I might have to dip my my brush into the paint again because it's not showing up. Okay, here we go. I'm doing a fresh. Here we go. Yeah, that's what we needed. But now you really have to change the direction of your sponge because it's showing up really good. Finally, a song I kind of recognize. Don't know the name of it, but I kind of recognize it. One told you so. Life will be in your keeping. Laughing, weeping more. The light is really starting to go away, folks. So I'm glad I'm getting near the end here because it's getting harder for me to see what I'm doing. And this is the face. So this is got to be really good or else it's not going to be fun. And I do the eyeballs, the eyes, the eyelids too, because it makes it look like capillaries. Like so. And I'm going around and dabbing with the sponge where it's a little dark. Okay, let's inspect. She needs a lot more because it disappeared on the back of her head. Except for that line there. Where did that come from? Mysterious things sometimes happen. You get these little things that show up on your doll and you're like, where did that come from? Thank goodness though, you can get rid of it before you bake it. It's just mysteries of the reborn world. Mysteries. I might just have enough time on this time go around that my camera won't shut off before I'm done with her head. I love this kit. I am loving this kit. She is so freaking cute. All right, April, let's do a little bit of stork stuff there, which I like. Alright, looking at this under the light. I don't know if you guys can still see what I'm doing. I hope so. I think this is going to be it for this go around, because I'm getting tired and the light is getting less and less. Just put one more on her eyelid so that it looks like capillaries. Yeah, that's perfect. And I like the mottling under the chin a lot. That's where I really like the mottling to show up, underneath the chin. Okay, folks, so that is how you do mottling on a Reborn doll. So this is long enough. Thank you guys. I hope you saw a lot of it. And I will see you guys with the next lesson. I'm going to do veining next. So stay tuned.